everyone, it's your boy Dan Snare, the best young football analyst. So if you're new to this page, please do subscribe and hit the like button. So today's game will be Orlando Pirates versus Disciples. A great game it was, Pirates wins 4-0. Great deserving game. Perfect playmaking from Pirates. Better than the first preliminary round. This shows that if you don't win the game in your home ground, going away is going to be very difficult. And Disciples found it very difficult to deal with Pirates. Even in the first half, it was very difficult for them to actually condemn Pirates in the first half. Try to control play. It was very difficult. They were fully out. Even the coach made around 3 subs in the first half. Around 30-something minutes. This shows that Disciples didn't know what they were doing. They played very poor making. Mind marking was very poor. Position play was very poor. They didn't know how to play football. It was as if they were playing street football against a professional club. Because Pirates is a professional club. You cannot play poor football when playing Pirates. You just cannot do that. Pirates is a big club. Pirates is a big club in Africa. Not a big club, but one of the biggest clubs in Africa, Pirates. One of the biggest clubs in Africa. Yes, they're not the biggest club in South Africa, but they are one of the biggest clubs in Africa. They're the second best club in South Africa at the moment. So, the win, joining Galaxy, I forgot the club they're facing, but in the first leg they lost 1-0. I just hope that joining Galaxy defeats that club and gets to face Pirates. But yeah, I wanna first say my apologies for doing the analysis very late, because the game played last night, and yeah, I could have posted around last night, but too much problems, too much problems I gotta deal with. But yeah, I wanna go with Disciples. Very poor play, man. Marking was very poor. Position play was very poor. They couldn't play football. First off, they were completely out. That's why Pirates was able to get 3 goals. Pirates could have won this game 7-0. 6-0 or 7-0. Because this game, the gameplay that was being played by the tactician coach of Disciples was very poor. They might be the biggest clubs in Madagascar, but when it comes to Africa, when it comes to them playing with the clubs of South Africa, we are the GOAT, We are when it comes to Southern Africa. And get this, when it comes to Southern Africa, the South African League is the one setting the standard high for the Southern African football. You look at the COSAFA countries, Namibian League, Botswana League, Lesotho League. The only league that stands out is the Betway Premier League. Used to be at DSTV. It stands out. We are the most expensive league in Africa. So you tell me that the Betway Premier League is not the best league in Africa. We might not have the biggest club in Africa, because the biggest club in Africa is Al Ahly, followed by Wydad, followed by Sundown. I rank Sundown's third. But let's get into the game. Pirates came to the game with a 4-3-3. A 4-3-3 with one central midfielder and 2 attacking midfielders. Mind you that Pirates played this game without a defensive midfielder, but Mbata was enrolled to play as the defensive midfielder. You see these 2 flowers right here, right? These 2 flowers right here. These are the center backs. Now this is just to label my background, my everything. But this is the 2 center backs. This is Mata right here. The intelligence of Mata. Mata is only 24 years old. Mata collects the ball and distributes the ball. Makala collects the ball and plays 1-2 touches in order to move. Whereas Mata collects the ball, and when he sees space, he will just turn a 360 and move. Right? Yeah. Now, coach comes in and puts Shine, Monyane, Hoto, Nda, Sasane Mbata, Patrick Masonga is the double pivot, the double 10. Mbata and Dlamini. Right wing, Saleng, left wing Mufakeng, striker Babasa. Now, disciples came to this game with not knowing what to do. Let's be honest. What play was disciples playing? What type of football were they playing? They were playing. It's like they were playing. For those who stay in Cape Town, or even those who stay in Argentina, Brazil, all those places that they play street football. There's this street football. Even in USA, they play this a lot in England, I think. They call it Sunday football in England, where we know that on Saturdays we're gonna go to the turf field and play football. I used to play football, by the way. I stopped playing football in 2019. Because of COVID, gained weight, couldn't recover back. Gained a lot of amount of weight during COVID, during the when we used to stay in the houses. I forget what they call it, the lockdown. Yeah, gained a lot of amounts of weight. So I couldn't recover from that, which led me to, what I did. I found inspiration of that I know football by knowledge. I've got a high IQ in terms of football. So I decided, let me use my pure analysis of football into play. But as I was saying, it's as if they were playing Sunday football, Sunday league football, the turf football, the street football, because they would just pay the ball out and try to find runners to get the ball. Whereas Pirates, I'm going to focus more on Pirates, the actual team that was playing real football. Pirates, the requirements, and to show that they were playing pro football. Pirates, Dlamini, Mbata, even Hoto. Whenever Pirates is the balls there on the left-hand side, you'll find the disciples players on the left-hand side, and you'll find Monyane calling for the ball. And Monyane is wide open on the right-hand side. Same applies to Hoto. This shows that they had a poor defensive structure. They couldn't organize the defense. They couldn't organize the midfield. How are you going to win the game? And decision-making in the first leg, Pirates could have won. But decision-making let them down, especially in Saleng. But come second leg, I'm glad that coach put in Dlamini. I'm glad. I'm very, football is not about debate, it's not about opinions. The analyst Bobo, for those who know Bobo, he's currently in Tiski Times, he said something about Dlamini. Like Dlamini needs to come to the party. You need to remember that Dlamini, I remember when we threw 0-0 against Disciples in the first leg, I said to myself, Pirates need Dlamini in the CAF. Pirates need Dlamini in the CAF. But also Pirates need a good defensive midfielder. They need a good defensive midfielder. Not every time when we use Mbata, it's going to work. It's not going to work. It's not going to work every time. And the suitable defensive midfielder in the CAF, it's Tim. The suitable midfielder in the CAF is Tim, Mbata, and Patrick Masonganyi. Well, we were facing an amateur club. There will come a time where we're facing the likes of Raja Casablanca, Asfa Rabat, Wydad didn't qualify, Raja and Asfa, the two currently biggest Moroccan clubs. Or we face Al Ahly, the Giants of Africa. Or we face the Pyramids. So we need a defensive midfielder who will be able to deal with that. And I'm taking Tim. Someone who can intercept the ball around the midfield. Someone who can detect movement. Someone who's able to scan around. Someone who can protect his defense. So Mbata and Mbatano will be the ones to attack. So as you guys saw in the game, those who watched the ball, that Dlamini dropped and played around the central part, helping out Mbata. Which made it easy for Mbata not to only collect the ball, because Mbata was put in there as the 6 to only collect the ball. When Mbata collects the ball, he has got one thing in mind, not to pass the ball backwards, but to move, play, and attack. Same applies to Dlamini, which makes things easy for Tito to drop and collect the ball from actually maybe 20 to 30 yards out from the box. So now Tito's not actually dropping deep to play around with movement, to play around to collect the ball. He's actually dropping from the center point and going forward. So that's what you need. from Pirates. But Pirates needs to start learning to play a defensive midfielder, the central midfielder, and attacking midfielder. They must learn from Sundowns. If you guys remember Sundowns play Mukwena, Alende, and Zwane. You need a 6 and 8 in the CAF because CAF is very physical play. And each and every game win it Dlamini. Saleng might have had a good game, but I would bench Saleng and put Dlamini instead of Saleng. When we face these pure clubs of CAF, I doubt Saleng will perform. Because CAF is physical football. It's very physical football, CAF. It needs players who are strong at some point. Players who have got a hard-working drive. Saleng has got the hard-working drive. But sometimes Saleng can be easily shut down. He can be easily cut off. He can be easily out of the game. Sometimes. Yes, Saleng is back. Saleng is back. And I believe we will get something out of it. But I believe Pirates will need to use Mufukeng more. Mufukeng is better than Saleng. Mufukeng is better than Saleng because Mufukeng is a dribbler, doesn't depend on his pace, able to make 1-2 touches. Yes, Saleng also can do that, but you guys can notice that Saleng is mostly uses his pace to his advantage. Now let's say Saleng deals with a smart left back. Saleng struggles when he deals with a smart left back. I remember in the derby when he dealt with Blom. Blom was not a left back, but Blom was given instruction to guard Saleng, and he did very well. So in the CAF, you find many physical and tactical clever left backs, and I doubt Saleng will be able to deal with them. So I prefer Gilberto there. Gilberto got his working pyramid, and maybe next game will be available. So I prefer Gilberto, and at most time I prefer Dlamini to come in the 68th minute. Yeah, and I prefer Kim Vudi to be used more in the Premier League, in the domestic football. You know, yes, I prefer Tito to be rested then there, and we try to play it sometimes without Tito. But yeah, there were a few moments in the game, mostly falling on Pirates. Shine was someone sleeping on his bed. He was sleeping on his bed, waiting for a shot. Although a shot did come, it caught him by surprise. But yeah, good save from Shine. And he got the call up. Congratulations to Shepo Shine. He got the call up for the preliminary squad. Yeah, Mabasa was caught offside. As you guys can see on the video, it was an offside. Very close. But it's an offside. It's a free kick from Dlamini. And yeah, it touches Mabasa. I feel like maybe Mabasa could have let the ball go. And maybe that could have been a goal. Because but maybe it was not going to count because Mabasa would have distracted the goalkeeper. So yeah, it's an offside. It's an offside. Not a clear one. The offside of Mabasa and Saleng were not really clear. But the referee got it spot on. The South Sudan referee, assistant referee, the linesman got it spot on. You know, yeah. So it was an offside. Let's not panic. Let's not maybe find a debate. Okay, I might not be the one to finalize it. That was an offside. It will be finalized in the SABC Sport Soccer Zone. But on a true note, I saw it as an offside. You know, yeah. And also, I want to get into the own goal of Orlando Pirates. The own goal scored by the Disciples player, who is Andoniana. Andoniana, the number 2 of Disciples. You know, as you guys can see in the video, you guys see that Mabasa is going to receive the ball. Mabasa is about to receive the ball. As Mabasa is about to receive the ball, Ondonyana comes in running and he shoots as if he's shooting on a different team. He's shooting towards Shane, but he's shooting towards his goalkeeper. So I don't think that was a good idea by Ondonyana, although he wanted to pay out the ball. But I feel like he could have just came with his body. Not shoot, just come with his body. This guys can see he comes in running. It seems like Mabasa has let go of that ball. Yes, actually, no, Mabasa was tending to shoot. I feel like he could have come with his body. Because that ball was going to win it either way. Ondonyana. Ondonyana was going to win that ball. So, poor decision made by Ondonyana. This kind of summarized the game for disciples that all the players were making poor decisions. Poor decisions. Also, but it becomes worse when the poor decisions are made by the coach himself. It also comes to the poor defensive structure that's being set by the coach and being played by the players. Because when you look at Mufokeng's goal, as you guys can see in the video, Mufokeng was surrounded by 5 players. But him and Petr Maswanganyi did only 1-2 touches and they passed through the defense. And what I like about Mufokeng, as you guys can see in the video, he goes he shoots and wants to shoot by the far post, where he knows that the goalkeeper won't reach the ball. Where does a young player like Mufokeng get that mentality? Where? This proves what I'm saying, that Mufokeng must get game time in the CAF, and Mufokeng is better than Saleh. I won't change my statement. Mufokeng is better than Saleh. If you don't agree with what I'm saying, go to your grandma. If you don't have a grandma like me, yeah, it is what it is. Go to your mother. So yeah, 5 players surrounding Mufokeng. But they're not even ball watching. 2 touches. They unlock the defense of disciples. And what does that say about the coach himself? Disciples might be dominating in Madagascar, but this shows that the Madagascar league is a very weak league. If their biggest club, even if Disciples lost 4-0, but you would understand if they played something that is understandable and reasonable. But when you're gonna just play rubbish, just gonna play trash, then this show you're just embarrassing your league. So yeah, there's something special about Mbata. There's just something special about Mbata, guys. But I wanna go through the moments of the game so I can elaborate more on this game. We look into the goal of Maswanganyi. The goal of Maswanganyi. The goal of Maswanganyi. It's a wow. It's a wow. A wow. Wow. Like a W-O-W with the 2 exclamation marks. What a curler. What a curler. What a curler. Come on, guys. Like, it goes to what I was saying, that the Disciples' defense, they open much space for Paris to move in their own half. All of them drop back. A ball is shifted. To Munyani. Munyani beats the player and he gets in a cross. As he gets in a cross, the cross is then paired out by the Disciples player, as you guys can see in the video. Petr Maswanganyi gets the ball. As Petr Maswanganyi gets the ball, as you guys can see, there's too much space for him to curl the ball into the top corner, top left corner, and what a wonderful goal! He was in his best form, the Maswanganyi that we know. Some people would have called him a one-season wonder, but no one called him a one-season wonder because they had seen. And Dr. Ivan Koza, because Mr. Thomas already agreed that they can give the number 10 to whoever, because the Jazz was not playing, but he was playing. He was the one playing. Petr Maswanganyi, come next season, at the beginning of next season, he deserves that number 10. He deserves that number 10 and should be given that number 10. He should be given. He's the future legend of Paris. I wouldn't give Mufokeng number 10. I would give but Van Rijn is more likely to wear the number 3 because, and maybe Mufokeng will contribute his number 8. I would have loved to see Mufokeng wear number 3. I don't know. I think his idol is Lodge. So yeah. But I wouldn't give Mufokeng number 10, although he's a brilliant star. Some would say future legend for Paris. But Mufokeng deserves to play in Europe. Deserves to play in Europe and gain experience more and help out Bafana Bafana. Because his style of play, it's a European style of play. You know? He can play in the Spanish league and play in the English league, between those 2 leagues. He can even go at least to the Italian league, you know. And I feel like Mufokeng would get game time. You know? Maybe it might be difficult because of his physicality, because we know how physical and fast are fullbacks in England. So I think maybe he would adapt much better in La Liga, where fullbacks in La Liga are just clever, good defensively. You know, that's how they are in Spain. Whereas in England, they are fast. they are fast, and are good in 1v1s. So yeah, Saleng, Dlamini was very crucial in this game, was very effective. Again, it happens that Dlamini gets a free kick. And what I love about Dlamini is how he is able to shift play. Dlamini drops and helps out. He helps out. And when he helps out, he's able to move around the central port. He's able to shift play, which helps out Paris, because sometimes you would see Monyane or Hoto open very, very wide. And Dlamini is able to spot that because Dlamini has got a great vision and is able to distribute. And the fullbacks or wing backs are able to receive it and put in the crosses. And himself, Dlamini, is able to collect the ball in tight areas and move the ball 1-2 touches. You know? Yes, what Dlamini lacks as an attacking midfielder, he's not good in supplying the front three. You know? Because Dlamini likes going to wide areas and likes shifting his ball to wide areas. But what I love about him is the interplay that he makes. His playmaking. He's able to combine play. That's what I love about him. And yes, he was able to, as you guys can see, the free kick was taken by Dlamini. And Saleng, he made the run too early. And he has the ball. He had the ball in, and it was a goal, but it was an offside goal. Good decision made by the linesman. It was an offside, a clear offside. He made the run very early. And yeah, the substitute referee for me was very spot on. I will be fair as a Paris fan that he was very spot on. But also including Mabasa's offside goal, the second offside for Mabasa. He was a very unlucky man. I want to say something about Mabasa before that. About the striker position for Paris, the central forward position for the Paris team. Mabasa, Saleng, I feel like Saleng could have gone for the shot, could have been selfish, because him being selfless, Mabasa was offside, and Mabasa just tapped in the ball, and it was offside, as you guys saw in the video. So yeah, it was not Mabasa's day, but I want to be honest, I really don't see Mabasa coping for Paris, helping Paris to go further in this competition of the CAF Champions League. As you guys saw in the game, when Makgopa came in, Makgopa is a good striker, better ball holder than Mabasa, better move player than Mabasa. He's good in combining play with the players. Although Mabasa is able to do that with Patrick Maswanganyi, but Mabasa only does that with Patrick Maswanganyi while staying in one position. Because the problem with Mabasa, he wants to score. He wants to score so bad that he's selfish. Whereas Makgopa, he will, even if he doesn't score, but you see his impact in the game. He's always around the ball. Whereas Mabasa, you will see him you'll find him in one position. I think maybe he thinks he's Erling Haaland. So Makgopa, he gets himself involved more than Mabasa. So I would believe that Makgopa must be the one that is most used. Mabasa was the top goal scorer for the DStv Premiership League, which is now the Betway Premiership League. So I would highly advise that Mabasa plays more in the Betway in domestic football, and Makgopa plays more in the CAF football. You know, and because he has got the AFCON experience, he has got a bronze medal for the AFCON. So he's got high experience than Mabasa. You know, he knows how to deal with stubborn centre backs. Whereas in the CAF, starting from the group stages, there will be 4 clubs, and I'm telling you, there will be 2 or 1 clubs that will make Paris suffer. And Makgopa will be that striker that will be able to help out Paris. And I wanna name players that can help Paris in the CAF. I wanna name the players that can help Paris in the CAF. There are certain players that won't cope with Paris for the CAF, that won't be able to help Paris in the CAF. There are certain players that will be able to help Paris in the CAF. And I want to name them and state my reasons. Goalkeeper, Shane and Mutulezi. I wouldn't play the 2 youngsters because Zulu and the other goalkeeper had just joined. So I feel like it would be a huge, because I think it was Zulu who was put in the CAF squad, that because CAF requires a number of players. But Mutulezi and Shane. Right back, Van Rooyen, Van Rooyen, Lebitso. I would prefer both of them in most cases. Monyane, let me tell you something about Monyane. Monyane's a great player. He's a great player. But for those who know African football, especially the Northern African football, how they play their football, it's the wingers there, they are very clever. They are good dribblers, you know. So I highly doubt Monyane will be able to deal with those players because Monyane only depends on his pace. If we're being honest, without his pace, yes, he's got a good technique. Without his pace, Monyane, I doubt Monyane would be this good. Without his pace. And in most cases, you would find that Monyane is fast, has got speed, but he cannot use it. Monyane, when he runs, sometimes he cannot control himself. You know? So, it's like he's going to fall down. But even on the right-hand side, you would find that Monyane doesn't bang in much crosses than Lebitso does. Van Rooyen does bang in much crosses. This talks about his positioning. Because Silent cuts in, you expect a rapper to bring in as much crosses as possible. But Monyane doesn't do that. You know? So, I wouldn't highly recommend Monyane to play more games. Van Rooyen and Lebitso. As for the left backs, Mayela and Hoto. You know, yes, Marco maybe is going to be back anytime soon. But, honestly, Mayela, good defensively. Hoto is building defensively. He is building to becoming a good left back. But, yeah, these two would be very suitable. Talking about Mayela's experience in the CAF, you know. Yeah. Center backs, Nda, Sesane, Oki, Smith. I apologize. I've got a flu, guys. Very difficult. There's something that was said by Junior Kanye. Junior Kanye said that the only center back in Pirates that can cope in the CAF is Nda. BC, Koki won't be able to cope. I'm very disappointed with what he said. Pirates don't have only one center back that is a bully, and that's BC. And I'm happy how Sasane has proved him wrong. Yes, we might have faced an amateur club. I don't want to talk about Nda, but Sasane is a very good center back. He's a ball-playing center back. He is able to read the ball very well. Read the game also. He's able to intercept the ball at the back. You know, he's a good tackler. Sasane has got all the qualities to compete in the CAF. He might not have the experience, but when Nda alongside him, we can reach the semi-finals. And I'm saying this again. He might see Pirates getting knocked out in the group stages, Mr. Junior Kanye, but I see Pirates going through the group stages and going all the way and going to the semi-final. I see Pirates going to the semi-final. Reaching the semi-final, actually. I see Pirates reaching the semi-final. Yes, I might have doubts them going to the final, but I see them reaching the semi-finals. And as for Oki, people undermine Oki. Even Coach Hugo undermines Oki. Oki is unrecognizable. Sometimes he gets more game time than Smith in most cases, but you'd find that Smith is the one getting the call up. And Oki is very weak physically. I think Oki needs to put in more time in the gym, because very physically he's not that strong. Sometimes strikers bully him. But what I love about Oki is the intelligence. And how cool, calm, collected he is. You know? And as much as he gets bullied on the ball, he's able to deal with strikers. Yes, he might strike against big strikers. But Oki is a very good center back. What makes Nda is very good. He is very good aerially, and Oki is also very good aerially, which makes him a good candidate to help Pirates in the CAF. You know, as for Sadam Tetwa, Sadam Tetwa. You guys know the Tetwa I'm talking about. He did well. He helped us in the NetBank semi-final to defeat Chiefs. Did very well in the Canadian break label against Chiefs. That's where people started to overhype him. But let's not overhype Tetwa. Tetra for me is not a good center back. He doesn't have the specialties to be he's not a Pirates quality. He's not the Pirates quality. I like him, but he's not a center back I would trust in big games. He's not a center back I would trust in big games. If you guys saw against, I think it was against Girona, I'm not quite sure. With Girona, we drew 1-1. But in the Spanish preseason, when Tetwa passed the ball as if he was crossing and the ball was taken, I think it was Girona, and Girona scored. Tetwa always makes mistakes in most cases. He's always making those mistakes. I want you guys to ask yourself, why doesn't Coach Jose Rivera start Tetwa in most cases? Why? Tetwa is always available, but Tetwa only plays when all games BC are out. It was before Coach had recognized the talent of Sasane. So yeah, I don't trust him at all. I might trust him against Chiefs since he performs well against Chiefs, and he's got a good shot. But nah. As for the central part, the 6 and 8, Tim Makaula Mbata, Dlamini. That's all. And Rasebocha. I would take Rasebocha and put him in play, but not every time. In most cases, I would prefer Tim and Mbata. Then maybe I would prefer Makaula and Mbata in the league. Yeah. Because it depends what type of defensive midfielder you are. Whereas Tim is a ball distributor, he's able to intercept the ball around the midfield. So, which that can help Pirates when maybe they want to play transition football, for him to be able to, or maybe on counter attacks, it can help Pirates. Maybe and Pirates at some point they use their pace to their advantage. Someone who can be able to distribute for the ball for them. A 6 who's able to scan around the field. So Tim is that type of player. As for Makaula, I would prefer him mostly in the bench and come in as a sub, Makaula. Because at some point he's able to come in as a sub, and change the game and stabilize things. As for the other midfielders, I would prefer Tito and Kimvuiti. Whenever Tito maybe gets injured, as Bobo said, I would prefer Kimvuiti to replace Tito if Tito might get injured. Because Kimvuiti is a fantastic player, just needs more game time. As for the wingers, I would prefer Gilberto, Saleng, Mufukeng, and Dlamini at some point can play as a winger, as a right winger. I think those are the only 3 wingers that can adapt in the CAF for Pirates. As for strikers, Mahopa mainly, Mavas as a backup. And it's a huge concern about secondary passer. You ask yourself, from here to where? Because last season in the MT8 started off very well. You even got a hat trick against Sekukune. So you ask yourself that from here to where? So I would like to thank you guys for watching. And please do subscribe and the like button for more videos. Thank you.